Yeah, we tried to, we talk a little bit about senior night, but I used to do a big thing, before the game, and used to talk to the guys about what the seniors have meant to us and things like that. And I've learned that all I do with that is I make myself a wreck, I make them a wreck, I make everybody a wreck. And so before the game, we certainly talked about it some, but I told them that I'd wait to really share my feelings at the banquet on Sunday night. And so next Sunday night. And so, we started those two guys, and they came out. They played well, while they were in there. And they've meant so much to our program. I can remember the recruitment of each of them. And all of it. And then through their time here. I think that these two have probably exemplified as much of Bronco basketball in their time here as anybody we've had. They're both four-year players, both going to graduate. Dita already has. He graduated this semester. He's working on his MBA. He's got an internship. Our fans will still see him because he's next year because he has an internship with the ticket office. So Dita might be taking your ticket next year, and so he's. And the thing about both of those kids is I don't know if they're capable of being in a bad mood. They always have smiles on their faces. And here's two guys that, did they ever make all-league? No. Or all-conference? No. But they battled every day, and they're unselfish, they're tough, they're great students, they're perfect gentlemen off the court. That's what we ask our guys to be. Those two have done that over the course of 4 years as well as anybody.
You can just kind of talk a little bit more about those two guys' value. Like you said, maybe not making all MAC teams, but just the way they kind of are kind of glue guys. Would that be a correct way to say that?
Yeah, I think that, don't get me wrong, because what you can see, those two kids compete, and Dita he's got a lot of fire in him, and they get after it. I don't, glue guys, there's certain terms that we tend to give people that haven't played as much. Glue guy, great locker room guys, there's another one right there. I don't know. I just know I'm going to miss them. They've been great to come out to and see every day. Those are kids that you really, as soon as they step out on the court, you look at them and you just know your day got better. And if that happens to me, for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is during the day, I can only imagine what it's like to be one of their teammates that's around them closer to 24 hours a day. They've been incredible, and they've seen a lot of ups and downs while they're here too. They were part of a share of a MAC West title. They won 10 in a row, going back just 3 years ago. Obviously, they went through the pain of 2 years ago and the injury-riddled season that we had. Dita was part of that. He caved in his forehead, diving into a chair. And then this year, they're the only two seniors with a really young basketball team, and they've never wavered in terms of their leadership or their effort. They know what they're dealing with, and they've led the way. I couldn't be more proud of them.
And then offensively tonight, last time you guys went to Eastern is kind of turned the ball over a lot and not getting a ton of quality looks. Today, a lot better in that regard. What was the difference in kind of picking apart the holes in that zone today?
Well, Murph is. He does his. It's not just a simple zone. This is a zone that he knows inside out, and ever since he's been there, there's nobody in the league that ever wants to play them. It's like going to the dentist, and it's one of the things that I think that is underrated with what they do is he has seen probably about every way you can possibly attack this zone. And if you do the same thing over and over again, he's going to make an adjustment. And about the time you got it figured out, or you think you have it figured out, he's made the adjustment, and it's taken away what you've been trying to do for the last 2 days, trying to get ready for this. And so we had to make another adjustment tonight, getting ready for the game, and change up what we had been doing really over the previous couple of years, on and off. We've been hitting certain spots of the zone. Tonight we had to switch things up, and we had to move some people around so that we could get some better looks. And fortunately, we missed some shots too. But I think that the game was sort of epitomized in the fact that we had 18 assists on our 22 buckets. So the guys really shared the ball well.
And then defensively holding them to 4 of 20 from the three-point line. I think you can just talk about the key to just defending them all around today.
It was probably as complete a game as we've played offensively. Defensively. They really, our kids just put out effort. And there are times where we've gotten up in games 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we just relax. And it's just one of those things. And again, that's part of experience. All of a sudden, it's just like the Northern game. The other day, we're up whatever it was, 15, 16, 8, I don't know what we were up. But the next thing within 4 or 5 minutes. And Murph and I were just talking before the game, and we were saying that very thing, like this league, so many games are played even for 37 minutes. But there's a 3-minute stretch. It could be in the first half. It could be in the second half. It's not necessarily the end of the game. There'll be a 3 or 4 minute stretch where one team has a great stretch and the other team doesn't. And then the game is decided because the other 36, 37 minutes is played pretty close. There's certainly exceptions, but for the most part, that's been the MAC this year.
And then I would say throughout all college basketball, it's tough to win on the road. But how do you get this team? Because this team is really hard, really tough to beat here. How do you get them, especially through this last part of the season, to transfer this to the road up to Central Michigan and then into the MAC tournament?
Yeah, that's the key. And I think that the biggest thing is just concentration. But, for us, it's there are times, again, from an experience standpoint, where we can get rattled or we get out of a routine. And, you have to go through the school of hard knocks, and we're still going through it. Just because we've won a couple of ball games doesn't mean anything. Now we're going to have to, we're not playing again here, so we're going to have to go up to Central, and they're always tough there, and obviously it's a rivalry game, and they beat us already here, and they have some outstanding players. And then, Monday night, Friday night, at, I don't know, 10-ish, 11-ish, everybody will be 0-0. There's only one prize that everybody really wants out there. Of course, we'd love to have had a better record, but I think we've learned a lot. As I said, it's a young team, and I think we've gained valuable experience. And we've been playing pretty well. And sometimes you got to hit rock bottom. We did at Ball State, that's for sure. And sometimes you got to hit rock bottom before you can bounce back up. Last 2 games have been pretty good, and now like you said, we just got to be able to concentrate, take that concentration to the road, and because again, like it's a Friday night after the Central game, nobody's in a position to get an at-large bid, in the MAC. It's everybody's going for one prize, and it's just last week, going into the last game, we were the last place team in the West. We beat the first place team in the West in Northern Illinois, and on the same night, the last place team in the East was Miami of Ohio. They beat the first place team in the East in Bowling Green. And so now you tell me where the top of the league is, the bottom of the league. Those teams that are whoever it is that's going to win the league, they've been the most consistent, all year long. And we certainly have been inconsistent, but we're capable of good basketball.
it was awesome seeing my family. I haven't seen them for a while, and we got to walk out there and got the whole introduction. So that was really really cool. Then I got my first start in 4 years. It happens once every leap year. So I was really excited for that, and I went out there and I played as hard as I could, and I think from there my teammates just took over the game, and it was awesome that we got the win.
And then you just talk about obviously, like you said, the emotions surrounding senior day, but getting that start and then getting in at the end of the game and getting that bucket late. What did you feel when you got that bucket there?
In the huddle, coach said, try and get Dida a touch, and we'll leave the rest to him. So the whole team was working for me to get the touch, and when Brandon gave me the ball and I saw the rim, I was like, I'm going to put this in there somehow. And it went in there, and I could hear the whole bench go crazy. My teammates on the court, the fans were excited. I mean, I scored just one bucket the whole game, and it got everybody that excited. It shows me how loved the Bronco family has loved me all these 4 years.
And I was just kind of wondering what your plans were afterwards. Is it correct that you're graduated? Correct.
Yeah, I already got my bachelor's degree in the bag already.
So what are your plans going forward after you're done playing basketball here?
I'm working on my MBA right now, and I already secured a graduate assistant / internship position at the athletic ticket office. So I'm really excited to start that in May, and I'll be there for like the next 2.5 years. So I'll still be around campus for the next 2.5 years. I'm still going to support my Broncos till the day I die. So I'm excited for the next phase of my life.
And then if you can just kind of talk about like obviously all the emotions that go into senior day, but then like keeping the task at hand and just staying focused and coming out and getting a good team win today. If you can just talk about that aspect of it.
Oh, yeah. Since they beat us at Eastern Michigan really bad, our goal was to try and not let them punk us today. So we punked them instead, you know. So yeah, it was awesome how hard we played and how focused everybody were to take care of business today, and we did just that. It was the effort from the whole team, the coaches, the whole players, the managers. It was awesome.
The coaches talked about you and JP being guys that he's going to remember 10 years down the line as the epitome of Broncos. For you coming in and wanting to play, obviously, but you know, riding the bench, but still helping out your team in practice and motivating. I guess if you can kind of wrap up these last 4 years. Obviously, there's still a couple more games to play, hopefully, but just kind of wrap up these 4 years and what they've meant to you, and then what this program has meant to you.
Like you all know, I come from 6,000 miles away from here, and not everybody from where I come from gets this kind of opportunity. So I cherished it from the very moment I set my feet on this campus. Obviously, coming out of high school, I was the best player, top 16 in Indiana. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to college and do some damage. But I got here, and there were better players than me. And I tried and I worked hard, but somehow I knew there was this role I had to play. So I embraced my role. I cheered for everybody that was doing good for the team. My goal was, as long as the team wins, I'm satisfied. At the end of the day, I just want to win. A win just does everything for me. So I embraced my role. I stuck with it. I helped you guys get better in practice. I did whatever I could do to help the team, and I don't regret any of it. I would do this all over again.
And you talk about that role, like how do you get yourself to adapt to that role? Because there are a lot of guys that would come in, maybe after 1 or 2 years and either pursue a transfer or maybe just quit, and you didn't do that. You seem to keep a positive mindset, and just have leadership qualities about you. So how do you do that, and how did you kind of keep the course like that?
I think adaptability is one of my biggest strengths. Wherever I find myself, I try to adapt to that environment, and accepting my role was how I adapted to this environment and supporting everybody. Yeah, I loved the school aspect of it, so that's basically what kept me going. I was like, hey, if I can't help them on the court, I gotta help them in class, and I did that with the whole All-MAC academic awards, and I hope I get it this year again. But yeah, it's been easy. Some days are hard, but for the most part, staying positive is really easy for me.
Talk about your roommate and sharing kind of this night and everything with JP.
JP is awesome. We've been roommates since freshman year. He's seen my high side. He's seen my low side. He can tell you all the goofy things I've done. We've been roommates since freshman year till now. We're still roommates. He's a really awesome dude. He has a really awesome family, and I'm glad coming to Western Michigan gave me that kind of friend.